Okay, I don't have a snappy intro to keep you here, but for anyone who has felt like, but how can it get better than what I've already experienced? I'm speaking on that. I I really didn't realize that that was something that was going on inside of my brain after a really amazing peak of experience with another individual was for me in a experience of like a situationship or love or whatever it was. Um, but regardless of that, I know that it can be understood in different ways. And because of like affirmations and changes that I've made to my mindset and practices and keeping faith, keeping trust that there's things that now fulfill me, right? Like it's been a path of like that perspective is built, in a certain mindset. And then as that changes, it's there maybe still behind, but you adapt in different ways and different things became fulfilling. And that's what happened for me. But what just occurred, I felt like worth sharing because it became something bigger than just my own experience. As I was sitting here feeling it, and because I know and feel that it is aligned with the shift that is happening, I was gonna try to say solarly because like it's not just gonna be affecting our Earth, it's gonna be affecting the whole solar system and therefore possibly like definitely the entire universe outside of it. We are all an energy grid that exists, influencing each other at all times, be it consciously or not. But Pluto shifting into its little Capricorn moment before it moves into Aquarius very steadily from November 18, 19 onwards. And also right now, Mars being in Cancer, it just like that alignment, I was like, this is something that needs to be shared. So my heart space feels like it has densified. That's not a word, possibly. But it got denser. Like it's capable. Oof, what's the word? It's like it's capable of like feeling more like it opened up bigger than I feel like it ever has before, and it's like stayed open. It's been like this for hours, and also it's been kind of happening over a few days now. Like I don't know, I've been practicing affirmations about being open to the changes, to the tower moment, keeping in the fucking tower card whenever I do reads, to anything and everything that is good that is coming my way because I am getting signs and trust that my angels are speaking that kind of alignment and truth and knowing and keeping me ready and keeping me open for what's to come. But then I also realize that like it's not about only what is in the future that eventually becomes my present and lands with me on my plate in my life, whatever. It's about feeling that immensity of openness, even as I'm moving towards something that could be misconstrued as a destination. Like, you know, now is the only thing that exists, duh, right? So, as much as like these other peaks are something that will prove me wrong, my past self wrong about thinking that it can't, how could anything get better than what it is that I've experienced there? And like what, that thing led me to a good place. It was like a kiss and a situationship and experience with a person, but specifically the first kiss has stuck with me in a way where I'm like, if it's not that or better, I don't want it. And it set me up to have this like heightened standard for fucking what it is I'm worthy of when it comes to interacting with others. And that heals like a whole bunch of stuff from my past, but I've tried to record this already and I went off on a really long tangent, so I'm not gonna go down that road right now. But because I've come to a place in my morning stretches, this like affirmation just sort of came out of me where I was like, it doesn't have to be them. That 444, you guys. It doesn't have to be that that person comes back into my life. There are other aligned beings What matters is that that energy is matched. My energy is matched where I am right now. And fully releasing that was one thing of its own. But it also, oh, it brought me to tears because I started to realize that, like, what I can feel because of the heart, I don't know, it's like all this area here, and it's like bigger than just my heart. It's like my entire chest is like filled with this, like, it's like the most beautiful thing ever is happening to me right now. Yet my life is the same as it was yesterday, as it has been for like months or whatever it is. I mean, it's always changing my perspective, like people that I'm meeting, things like that. But it's like I'm getting all of my dreams are coming true energy in me right now. Yet I'm the only one here. I mean, apart from like my guides and guardians and angels and stuff like that, obviously, but like it's not as if I've heard from right now the job that I am hoping to get. It's not as if, you know, this person that I had wanted for so long is coming. Like it's more like the anticipation of it has turned from an understanding that like this beautiful amazing stuff is for me, it's in my future, it is along my path regardless of whether it's happening to me right now or not. It's like the anticipation, the understanding, it's like the distance between those two things, me in the present and me in the future that has the dream life, has like dissipated completely, kind of. And what I realized was I was sitting here feeling this beautiful, like, winning energy. I don't love the connotations of that word, but like that's what's coming to mind. Also, I understand that like all of your dreams coming true, winning, like these words denote, is that anyway, a singular moment or destination, and that's like not necessarily how I see, you know what I mean? Like that's not the right way to look at it. But then there's also this, like, what I'm sitting in right now feels like I am feeling my dreams coming true, even though nothing is, I don't know. Okay. Because I'm trying to say it without also being like, nothing's happening. Like, everything's happening at the same time. It's fucking existence. The energy grid never stops expanding. The smoke never goes back in the cigarette. So what I realized was that this is like that moment where your brain can fuck with the understanding that good things are coming in, because I sat there and I felt this immense positivity. Positivity even feels like an airy version of what it is that I am experiencing right now. And so, what I am allowing right now, because you have the ability to allow this at any point in time. I say I'm experiencing it like it's something, and it doesn't, if it's separating me from you, maybe it's the wording, but also maybe like you are seeing yourself as not allowed to experience it, far from experiencing it, whatever that is. So what I really want to impress on you right now is like, this is available to you. You are allowed to feel this way right now. That, I don't know how else to put it. Like, it is that simple. It's not always that simple getting there. This has been years in the making, as far as I'm aware of, as like mindset and affirmations and things that I've worked through and processes and stuff. And I'm very proud of the work that I've put into myself. But I'm also aware that that work is undoing things that have been put on me as I existed as a human in this lifetime. And what I am returning to is my original form of just fucking pure, unconditional love. That's what it is. It's unconditional love. Okay. Whew, okay, I know I'm running out of this rose quartz. It's just sitting there looking at me. Okay. It is like the vibration of this, with the depth of like, okay, that's not the tangent we're going on. Hang on. Hematite. I my brain was doing this thing. I sat there with my eyes closed because I was like crying and just like feeling the goodness. And I realized that, like, how do I put this? My body was feeling this experience, feeling this goodness, feeling fucking euphoria and nirvana, even almost. And my brain was trying to like understand it, like it was trying to form a picture of what it is that my body was sensing on its way in, right? So therefore it was trying to like place it in, like, I don't know, it's like my memory, hang on. It's like my brain was trying to place it in a picture or an experience so that I'd be able to go, ah, it's this that's going to happen, and therefore that's why I'm feeling this feeling, or it's this specific person that's gonna like open up and speak to me, and that's what's like, it was trying to find specifics to like comprehend and pin down this experience that my body was feeling. And it was like trying to fit it in, like I could feel it doing this, and I just watched it. It was hilarious because it was like this building, no, this human, this experience, that interaction, this whatever, and nothing that my brain could come up with had the space or room for the feeling that I was experiencing. Now, in the past, when this has occurred, it probably fitted into versions of what it is that your brain knows, which is what it has experienced this lifetime. So it's trying to like, it can only ever understand what you're experiencing and your future ideas about stuff from things you've maybe seen, but mostly from things you've experienced. So it's going to base it off of what it knows from the past, which means that you can very easily limit your future based on what it is that you know already, when fucking hell, the possibilities are literally limitless. The limit does not exist. It just doesn't. And so being in a different place with that and experiencing my brain trying to fit this like universe-sized beauty into like shapes and figures that it already knew, and it couldn't do it. And then I realized that this is not just fucking coming in for me. This is not just me right now. This is what our collective is about, is stepping into, is 1, 2, 3, 4. Fucking said that, literally the word step. Is listen to the band Steps. Okay, I don't know why that came back, because Liberty X just popped up in my head and I totally forgot that Steps even exist, but they're, yeah, anyway. I the change, the transformation that it takes for us to get from where we've been as a species to get to where it is that we want to be, which is literally subjective. It is down to like any individual that you may ask what their version of heaven on earth looks like, and it's going to be different from the next person. Try not to freak out about that. It used to really worry me, and it's not down to you to control or figure out. We'll get there collectively. But I always try, like, I think it's a good idea sometimes to bring these ideals, these messages of like, everything's going to be okay to the collective. And immediately my brain starts thinking about all of the awful things that people are being put through. And sorry, my nose is like itchy. Oh, it does that sometimes. Why am I saying like it's a bad thing? When I'm telling. Okay, so I try to fit it into an understanding that someone may have if they're not coming at this from a universal lifetime understanding. Because in case you haven't watched any of the other things that I've posted or put up, whatever, it usually, I feel like, is understood better from this vibe where it's like, and I don't speak on it a lot, but like energy never is destroyed, right? So I'm not going to go into the science of it. You manifest continuously into different life forms, be it on this planet, others in different galaxies. I don't fucking know how it works or where that all, goes and comes back to and shit like that. I have my own understanding about it, but it doesn't really matter if it's the same as you or not, because at the end of the day, the bigger picture is we are a continuously living organism that expresses itself through individual lifetimes. And I'm just going to zoom in onto it being humans, because yeah, plants and animals and all that kind of stuff, but like I understand it from the perspective of human life because that's the one I'm living, so I'll speak from that. there's a bigger zoom out picture of our entire collective growing the way that any one human would through many different stages of consciousness of understanding itself, of ways that it treats itself, of ways that it ignores parts of itself or goes towards temptation or like loses itself or completely denies consciousness at all times or like and then, you know, you're thinking about that over an entire group of like literally billions of individuals moving through all of this in their own perspectives and at their own rates. And then each of those individual pieces of energy that is manifest as a human is on its own little journey and trajectory of whatever fulfillment means to the universe through that individual piece of energy at that time, because it's going to change life to life. Like there's no end. The beginning was, I was so opposing the Big Bang, but like who knows what was before that? I'm not here to fucking define all of that, but what I know is it helps to understand that you are here again and again and again, wherever that may be, to become conscious of this and then work together with the other beings that are here to make it not awful. to put it as layman termy as I can. Like, and then that in itself is subjective. But like, as I see it and as I understand it, I am here to create, I am here to aid, be a part of a team in allowing heaven on earth. But that's because this current, you know, age of our species has those words to describe what it is that I am trying to say to you, right? Because like heaven has certain connotations, and the fact that like the actual description within the Bible of hell, as in the Christian Bible or whatever, you know, would like describe it basically like earth in itself is hell. Like there's just such a perspective specific way of me describing it as heaven on earth, what I just have surrendered to, because like we deserve nirvana at all times, but until we understand that we are each individually deserving of that, we will not be living in it. And then there is the secondary part to that, where you may individually know, practice, believe that, like, that's what I'm doing, but then you also still live not only in a human body, which like has to experience pain to live, you know what I mean? Like there's unnecessary extras, but that's the kind of secondary part where it's like we have literal structures because our entire collective has a consciousness that is like not fully conscious of itself as a collective yet. There are individuals within it that are waking up, that are continuing to wake up. There has been many an age of this being a continuous thing that it tries, and it's not even like it's been a linear progression whatsoever, because I think that there were peoples way before us as like the now humans. I don't know even what that means. That means like, I don't know, any time that's been like seen as, oh, it's ancient civilizations and they did this and we don't understand how, so it must have been aliens or whatever the fuck. Like, I feel like peoples of those eras had versions of consciousness that we today are still growing into and haven't reached yet. Like, it's been on this earth multiple times. But then to look at ourselves as the humans that, like, particularly also being a white human, where it's like, oh, it's our fault. Oh, we did this. We did so much shit. Like, you know, and then you bring in this like guilt and shame and individual and separation too from like, there's responsibility to be taken in that big time, but there's also sort of a like, yes, but don't go into then thinking that you therefore are not worthy of feeling the connection and collective universal healing that we are all allowed, because like, it's like the actions of our pasts need to be rectified, need to be healed. But also, we need to not step forward thinking that, like, there's shame involved in this. It's where we were. Okay? Wasn't always fucking nice at all to each other. And it's been very nice for some people and all that malarkey of, like, privilege and shit like that. Which is like, you know, that's where it's like these things get really specific and need to be rectified, and looking at it as like a big picture can be dangerous because it forgets that there are individuals experiencing really awful realities every single day in a very specific way inside of the same world, that some of us are able to find a place of like nirvana and ease in, and not like that shouldn't be seen as its own hard work, because literally capitalism and patriarchy are made to make everyone feel not great, even the people that are at the top of the little proverbial pyramids that they created of hierarchy. Like, hierarchy in itself just ain't it. It ain't it. But it feels easier because people are just in this idea of shame and like guilt and what it is that like we are worthy of, and that some people should be worthy of. Like, it's just, it's so backwards. And I feel like I can continue talking about it, but mostly what I'm feeling is like, possibly it's collective, it's past hope. It's past hope. Like, it's more than hope. It's more than, oh my god, maybe that's a possibility. It's more like, oh no, it's fucking possible. And it doesn't matter how long it takes to get there. As a collective, I allow this feeling now. Thank you for the confirmation. Like, maybe it's a feeling of the majority shift, right? Of like, oh, we're doing this. We're doing this. Now, that means that there will be blowback. That means that there will be resistance. And so what I think is most important when we get to a point of like very, very empowered, positive change, to remember to not continue ideas of separation as you look at those who are continuing to try and separate us with their hate, with their judgment, with their own low self-worth. Because it's so easy to continue the cycles of what it is that we've been a part of. Like, individuals are maddening to be near, I swear. But like, remember to zoom out and be a part of an understanding of the collective. I don't know if that is the best, but whatever practice finds you, I hope that this helped. I'm just gonna hold this. I was kind of looking at my tarot cards, like, should I leave you with a message? But I feel like I have given enough in this moment. Okay, the other thing that's standing out is smoky quartz. I would urge you at this point in time, if this message has resonated with you, look into whatever videos come up, whatever meditations you find about it, whatever practices. Look into psychic protection. Protect your energy. You're conscious of your energy. Treat it like your body. Treat it like any other part of yourself. It is worth your protection. It is worth your care. It is worth, yeah, being aware of. So smoky quartz, and we have a rose quartz, and let's get this.